The lighthouse towers above. Waves crash endlessly against the perilous rocks below. All creatures, humans or otherwise, would have their brittle bodies broken and thrown at its feet. You ponder the intrinsic power of the structure. A vast column of stone shouldering the responsibility of countless lives. How long will it stand? How long until it decays into ruin, its purpose exhausted? The lighthouse towers above. Dredge is a game about catching fish and peeping the horror, two activities I hold dear to my heart. Combination is a subgenre that has only begun gaining traction somewhat recently, and I hope more continue to be made. As an ambitious and not at all haunted fisherman, you arrive in Greater Marrow with precision and grace. Here you'll find a sea of bounties. Fish, treasure, and things I wish didn't exist. Meet the locals and complete tasks to get them into better life circumstance and dietary habits. If you're a bit of a night owl and find yourself feeling lonely, don't worry. At night, the fog rolls in, and if you feel like you're being watched, that's because you are. Fishing games really tickle an itch I can't quite put my finger on. Something about simple skill tests on a peaceful backdrop, occasionally interrupted by a scaly friend, forms an addictive relaxation. As everyone knows, the best way to enhance a relaxing experience is to make it deeply unnerving. Now, I don't want to spoil any of the big surprises, so I won't. You'll just have to play it yourself. Dredging is the process of using a massive hook to haul resources up from the depths, all of which has fallen from the wreckage of ships, predicating your own. You'll need these to improve your boat, to fulfill requests. Sometimes you'll dredge up things of unusual nature, much to the interest of those who know far more about the unnatural happenings than you do. Progression in Dredge is largely based on upgrades, and all upgrades cost money, and money is fish. The bigger and more exotic, the higher the price. Stingrays were a big earner early on, but their number was limited, and my searching soon had me caught out after dark. Night fishing is high risk, but it can also be high reward. Not all species are active in the day, and aberrant creatures become far easier to encounter. Their mutations make them valuable, as long as you can ignore the whispering. The nighttime fog does not just make it hard to see, though it does do that. It also exposes you to hazards that will fill your spookometer. I never found out what happens when it's full, but it's probably best avoided. Commonly observed fog phenomena include a representation of the least anxiousness I have ever felt, tactical ramming maneuvers, and whatever this is. These immediate dangers are just the tip of the thousand-eyed iceberg. Speaking to the locals will make it clear that the corruption began taking hold of them long before you arrived. Dredge presents you with choices, but the curiosity, the pursuit of the unusual that brought you to this game in the first place, makes it all but certain what choices you'll pick. If you're anything like me, the corruption is just part of the experience. In some way, you are the outside force, bringing ruin upon those that cannot comprehend your existence. Though a lack of comprehension does not prevent them from engaging, spreading their own doom for power, or wealth, or simple curiosity. A lack of care permeates most interactions. Few seem to mind or even pay that much attention to those around them, even those they have lost, though mourned, have seemed to fade into an accepted commonality. I suppose a part of what draws me to games like Dredge is that they reflect a very human habit that can often be overlooked. The instinct to adapt, settle, to ignore the horrors that surround us. The people living here are not ignorant or unaware. They have simply become complacent in the face of things that seem so far out of their control. What stands out as deeply wrong to you or I has become the mundane, the everyday. Shadows on the wall of a... Is that a giant crab?